I've been on Mounjaro now for 2 whole months. I started at 26 stone 10, and I wanted to make this video today to give you an overall top-down overview of everything that's happened in the last 2 months, so you can expect something similar if you're starting your Mounjaro journey. Why did I start taking these type of jabs? Well, I'm 40 this year. I've got 2 kids at home, and my father died of an unrelated issue when he was in his mid-40s. This meant that I grew up from the age of 16 onwards without a dad. And I understand the impact that that can have on a child. Not only did it mean that I had to grow up quite soon, because bless my mum, she didn't take the death very well, but it also meant in my head that a lot of things were compressed in time. It's kind of hard to shake out of a kid's head that, you know, if my dad died at 46 or whatever, that I'm not going to do the same. So having hit 40 years old and having 2 kids, I know that I don't want to leave my 2 kids alone in the world with exactly the same problem. In fact, the maths pretty much works out the same. If I was to disappear at 46, 47, then my daughter would be 15, 16. My son would be 11, 12 years old. Now, why weight loss jabs? I've tried everything. I've tried Weight Watchers, Slimming World, Slim Fast Shakes. I've tried going to the gym. I even went to the gym every day for like 3 months. I've tried calorie counting. I've tried the NHS soups and shakes diet. And over the years, I've been able to lose a bit of weight and then slowly gain a little bit of weight. I'm an emotional eater. So every time something good happens, I celebrate with food. Every time something bad happens, I comfort myself with food. It was the one thing that was always reliable. And obviously, when I was a kid, it was the only thing in the house that I could get hold of that I knew wouldn't disappear. Unfortunately, this forged very bad habits in me, which led me to being 26 stone 10 at the age of 40, having slowly put on half a stone a year every year since my 30s. Now, I'm based in the UK, and although you can get these jabs on the NHS, there's a huge long waiting list, and I didn't think I could afford for my family, for me to continue to put on half a stone each and every year, and for me to wait up to 5 years for them to give me what I need. So I went to MedExpress. There's a link in the description down below, but there are many others out there in which you go to MedExpress, you fill in a little form. It asks you, you know, how old are you? How tall are you? What's your current weight? What's your BMI? It calculates that for you. Asks you a load of medical questions. Have you got any heart conditions? Have you had any previous medical conditions that are relevant? Importantly, it asks, can they contact your GP? Who is your GP? And then what they do is they contact that GP to ask, like, hey, your patient is within these parameters, which I believe is anything over 38 on BMI, in which at 5'10" and 26 stone 10, I was like 54 on BMI, which puts me at risk of, you know, diabetes, high blood pressure, possible heart attacks and stroke. So once they approve it with my GP, then they're able to prescribe the medication and send it out. I was very, very lucky that I had a referral code when I started and that I used from somebody else. They got 40 quid. I got 40 quid off of my medication. Once again, there's a link in the description down below. So if you're thinking of starting, check that out. It saves you 40 quid. The first jab for me would have been £180, but it was 140. Now, why would I spend 140 quid when I could have spent 140 quid on a gym membership or some food? As I said, these kind of things, like, you don't realize the impact that this could have. I could spend 140 quid on pre-prep meals, but what if I have a bad day and I binge eat another prepped meal? Or because this medication, as I found out, has a very clever way of helping you with that. So once I'd got the prescription, and they part of the form, they ask you to firm your ID with a passport or something like that, and then take photos of yourself to prove that you're not like a skinny mini trying to scam your way into a jab, just so that they, once again, they're doing their due diligence so it is safe. It arrived within 3 to 4 days of the order. It arrived in a chilled box, and it's a live vaccination that you keep in the fridge. If you want to see that unboxing video, there'll be a link in the description down below. And I started with the 2.5 milligrams. Within the first month, I'd lost 10 pounds. And for me, that's good going. Now, the reason why I feel that it helped is going back to what I said before. Previously, if I had an emotional day, I'd overeat or I'd sit and I'd snack. What this does is it eliminates that need to snack. It eliminates that need to eat, basically. Now, I don't mean in a harmful way. What I mean is, as you may understand, if you happen to be somebody that struggles with food, if you wake up in the morning, you'll feel hungry, you'll eat something. And whilst you're thinking about that, you might be thinking, okay, middle of the day, I might have like such and such for lunch. And then in the evening, I want this for tea or dinner and tea, depending if you're north and south. But that food noise is there, yammering away in your head. After you've had your breakfast at 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, by around about 1, 2 o'clock, you're thinking, oh, I'm hungry. And then once you've had that, like dinner, lunch, whatever it happens to be, then once again, you'll feel that noise rattle around in your head at 5, 6 o'clock at night because you're programmed to do so. That's the routine that you've been doing. And then you'll eat your tea and then maybe you get peckish about 8, 9 o'clock at night if you're anything like me, and you graze on some crisps, maybe some chocolate. And before you know it, instead of eating sensibly, 2,000 calories, 2,500 calories, you've grazed your way to 3,000, 3,500 calories because I love that chocolate bar and I love that pudding. And the way it works mathematically with weight loss is, basically, you put in 2,500 calories to your body burns 2,500 calories, then you are in a deficit of 0. Okay. But if you eat 3,500 calories and you burn 2,500 calories, which is the average for a man, right? Then that's 1,000 calories more than you needed. And a pound of fat is 3,500 calories. So you keep doing that over the course of the week. That's 7,000 calories extra that you ate. That's 2 pounds of fat that you've just put on. Okay. Whilst with Mounjaro and other weight loss jabs, what it does is it turns that food noise off. So I'll have breakfast in the morning and then my brain just goes, yeah, you're good. In fact, even to the point where in some cases I have to remind myself to have my middle of the day meal, or I'll forget breakfast. I'll eat something at around about 12, 1-ish. And then I have to remind myself in the evening to eat something. Now, it's not as aggressive as eating problems. It's more of a case of it helps your willpower. Now, I've explained this in a previous video. If you idle at a 4 out of 10 for just your day to day, right? And when you get hungry, right, it travels up to 8 out of 10 on how hungry you happen to be, right? When you eat something, you eat your hunger from an 8 down to a 4 again, okay? And then what that means is at 4, your willpower allows you to go, no, I can wait. But when you get all the way up to 8, you're like, I have to eat something now. What this jab does is it lowers that baseline entirely. So instead of starting at 4, it starts down at 1. When you get hungry, it moves up to 4 or 5, which once again is then still, okay, I'll eat later. And then when you eat, it kind of comes back down to 1. What this does is it helps with that food noise so it's not nagging you all the time. It then helps reprogram your brain so that you're not eating on routine and habit. You're eating on the fact that your body now says, you know what, Alan, you could eat something. And that's what helps keep you within that 2,500 limit on calories, in some cases eating less. So once again, let's say you eat 2,000 calories. That's 500 calories less than your maintenance for the day. Over the course of 7 days, that's 3,500 calories that you haven't eaten. You've just lost 1 pound. That's even without exercise, because you've got to remember that exercise obviously nibbles away at how many calories you've eaten and how many calories you need. And the larger you are, the more calories you need to maintain your body weight. Someone like me at 26 stone, for example, needs around about 3,000 calories-ish to maintain being this cuddly. So once again, if it takes nearly 3,000 calories to remain this cuddly and I eat 2,000 calories, you see how the math adds up. So after week 1, I'd lost 10 pounds and I felt more energetic. I was sleeping a bit better. By week 5 and 6, I'd lost another 10 pounds, in which hopefully you can see it in the face. I'll put it in the thumbnail, the before and the after. And it's these kind of things that you don't realize how much it helps. It's my back pain from walking has gone. Not that it was severe, but because you're a big dude walking a little further, it feels like it's compressed a bit more, or you have to kind of itch your belt around you to keep your jeans up, in which then that kind of cuts off circulation. It hurts. Hopping out of a car isn't so much of a problem. I find more energy walking up and down stairs. I blitzed my house the other day, and previously that would have taken the whole day of me doing something, then sitting down, and then going to do something again and sitting down. I was able to do the whole task in 60 minutes, 90 minutes without sitting down. I didn't even notice. And as of now, I am 21, 22 pounds down. I'm using the belt of my jeans to hold my jeans open up, which is a fantastic problem to have. I am now currently on the 5 milligram jab. What you do is you move up when you kind of feel that the appetite suppressant wears off. The first week, the first couple of weeks the first month, first couple of weeks, you could see that limit, that once again, that 0 to 4 to 8 kind of willpower training wheels was doing well in the first couple of weeks. And then it kind of eased off by the end of that jab. I then moved up to the 5 milligrams because you change every 4 weeks if you wish. Now, at the end of the 4th week of the 5th milligram, so week 8, I decided that I'd stick on 5 milligrams for now. Why? Because I received my first solid side effect. The way that these jabs work is it slows down your metabolism. So it keeps you hungry. So it satiates your hunger quicker. Okay. You eat less, but it also passes through your body slower. So you still get the nutrients, but you feel fuller for longer. But what this also means is that for me, on the 5 milligrams, if I'd ate something heavy, like a pizza or a large sausage sandwich or whatever, it takes a little longer to pass through your gut, and therefore it kind of starts to ferment, just like any other food would really, if you were constipated. And so in the process, I started receiving eggy burps, sulfury farts and stuff like that. What I've now done is that if I take my jab on a Sunday, the first 1 or 2 days, I'll eat something lighter, salads, soups, that kind of thing. And then that way it passes through me easier. And then by the end of the week, it's not so much of a problem. But overall, I'm feeling better. My clothes are feeling like looser. These are 3XLs. I started in 4XLs. My jeans, 52, 54 inch in waist. And now there's a good chunk of space. So I'm hoping to go down in size. My only concern is that if I'm losing weight this quickly, how long do I stay in these clothes until I get the next clothes? I'm okay with baggy stuff, you know, and I wouldn't be so worried, but I'm like being flown out to Dubai by one of my YouTube clients at the end of April. So I want to make sure that I look okay. So I'm having to look at clothes. So because I received that kind of first wave of side effects, I decided that I'd let my body adjust. So the 3rd month, I'm still on the 5 milligrams and I'm losing weight still. I wanted to make sure that I had this to not only help you guys and girls, so you know what to expect within 2 months or so, but also so I can look back on this as well, so I can see my own story. I believe I'll be stepping up to the 7.5 milligram jab at the end of April, and I've yet to set a decided goal. So many people have a solid number that they have in their heads. I pretty much have more of a size that I wish to get into trousers wise. Let me know, why are you starting these jabs? What have you tried before? What are the reasons you want to be on this jab in the future? And have you had any results already? Remember, if you want to grab the jab and save yourself 40 quid, there's a link in the description down below. You use that link, you go to the site, you add it to the basket. When you go through the process, you'll need to use the discount code as well. I wish you all the best. Please subscribe, join this ever-growing community that we have on this channel, and we can help each other. I'm Alan Spicer. I'm losing it. Are you?